Hi there, it's Karen, and I'm just doing a weekly reading. I'm a little bit late for the beginning of the week, the 12th of March. Lots of things been happening. Haven't had a lot of time, and I apologize for missing a whole week, but sometimes no news is good news. So I'm just doing a 3-card mixture of cards from 3 different decks, just to bring some insight to people for the following week, beginning the 12th. And I've chosen one of Doreen Virtue's Oracle decks, which is the Goddess Guidance deck. And in the middle there we have a larger card which belongs to the Inner Child deck. So maybe some insight into our inner child and how we can bring some lightness into our life by honoring that aspect of ourselves, which is always there, hidden away underneath our tantrums and our moods and our sadness and our joy and our happiness. Our playfulness is that inner child that we were when we were growing up. And I'm using a tarot card today. I don't usually use tarot cards, and I've set up a bit of an altar. You'll notice at the back there is an image. This is a card that I've collaged, and I feel quite strongly that it's a spirit guide that wants to be here. It's an image of a Inca or an Aztec warrior. He's quite young, but he's got a lot of beautiful kind of seriousness about him. I'll just zoom in. The image I chose was quite a powerful image, I think, because I just traveled to Mexico and Arizona in the States. So I did a collage about my trip, and some of the images are of the Grand Canyon and a little bit of the Mexican beautiful celebration of the Madonna that Mexico is so fond of, the color. I felt like I was soaring a little bit on that trip and quite enjoying the color and the beautiful earth energy. But this image of the beautiful warrior is, I feel, a guide. He also has a halo of yellow feathers, and often in icon paintings and images of saints and Jesus and Mary, they all have halos around their head, and that signifies the channel and the ability to radiate out love and truth and honor and honesty and the truth of the fact that we are all one and we are all connected. And so the halo is a symbol of the purity of that connection in the crown chakra, connecting to the universe, connecting to all that is. And I just thought that that was a beautiful representation in the feather headdress that this image had. And he is a strong guide to me, even though he's an image in a photograph. I think he very much represents a spirit that wants to come, a tribal spirit, a young warrior, and yeah, he wants to say hello today in our reading. So it's a bit of a mishmash. I don't usually use tarot cards. I find them a bit heavy and a little bit old-fashioned, and that technically they're not an oracle. They are a divination tool, but I'm going to mix it up. There are no rules. Damara. That's interesting. Damara is about guiding children. You'll notice a little child there, and it's interesting that I chose the Inner Child deck as well. I could read the writing on the card. I don't usually read the writing to do a reading, but in this case I will. You are good at helping, counseling and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So this card, I think, relates a lot to your inner child and being a parent. Any children that come in contact with you, whether they're younger siblings or nephews, nieces, grandchildren, I think we need to hold our children a lot closer than we ever have before. We need to give them a lot more tactile care. We need to hug them and tell them we love them and try and keep them safe, trying to make them feel safe, because there's a lot of disruption in our world at the moment. There's a lot of fear and there's a lot of change. And so the one thing that you can try and do is to help your children be more sensitive by watching what they're eating and making sure that they're not hyperactive, and just keeping as clean an environment as you possibly can. And I mean that in terms of clean as in energetically clean, sweeping away any negative energy, any fear that has welled up in your home. And hold your children, touch them, cuddle them, make them feel safe. There's a lot of children out there that do not feel safe in their own bodies. They do not feel safe. They're feeling change. They can feel energies. They can feel things happening in the climate. They can feel solar flares coming from the sun. They can feel electromagnetic radiation. They can feel built up tension. Children are very sensitive and aware, and a lot of their senses are reawakening first before adults. And so all those people out there that have connection to children need to protect them. Any children that come in contact with you, whether you're a teacher, a preschool teacher, your own family, in your own neighborhood, send out loving vibrations to the children in your neighborhood. See them enveloped in a golden light of protection. Now this orb of golden light, some might say that that's not strong enough anymore because the energies are much more powerful. But we must continue to do it, and do it every day, 3 or 4 times a day, just completely like an egg. Envision this beautiful golden orb around your family, around your children. They're absorbing, they're like a buffer. They're absorbing a lot of energy at the moment. But don't be fooled by the youth of children. They're much more wise. Their soul age of the children being born into this time is much more advanced and much more wise than we are. They are well prepared for this time, and they actually can teach us more than we can them. Our only role is to keep them safe, to provide a home and to provide an environment where they can be themselves and thrive and to feel safe. So that means you have to pay extra attention and reinforce, keep reinforcing that they're safe, that they're loved, that not to pay attention to too many fear-based media and gossip, and to try and clean up the environment for them. So beautiful music, light candles, light incense, clear. The best thing is a bowl of salt, sea salt in some water, in their rooms, in living spaces where lots of people congregate, and also sage. Burning sage is a very powerful ritual. You can burn above their heads and below their feet. This is just saying that there's lots of people out there that are having a positive impact on children. So that's also in the education system. So keep the good work up. You're here for a reason. Damara is the goddess that can help. So call upon Damara. She's a beautiful, youthful goddess, an adolescent that just is sensitive herself and just wants to provide the innocent, beautiful, nurturing environment that can bring out the best, the highest potential in every soul. Because we need to start looking at ourselves as more than just a personality, more than just a human or a body. We are a soul having a human experience. And these little souls that are coming in, they're powerful. They don't need too much spiritual training as such. They just need guidance and safety to be themselves. Well, the inner guidance card, inner child card that we have is Sleeping Beauty. There's quite a few fairy tale movies and TV shows that are coming out at the moment. It seems to be that it's in our mass consciousness and in our best interest to pay attention to fairy tales. All of the fairy tales are similar to a tarot deck. They're embedded with archetypal knowledge and spiritual learning in symbology. And Sleeping Beauty is one of those. We've all been asleep on some level and we're waking up. If you notice, there's a unicorn and there's a beautiful star shower, and the star shower is coming into the consciousness of this beautiful Sleeping Beauty who is sleeping amongst a bed of flowers. And it's night and there's a moon. There's a beautiful, it could be an angel helping to deliver this star shower. To me, that kind of relates to our consciousness awakening. Any star beings that have knowledge of healing and knowledge of extrasensory powers from other lifetimes on other planets, they're awakening at the moment, and they walk amongst us. They have been for many, many eons, and it's time to awaken from our deep sleep, our slumber of unconsciousness. We become unconscious when we're born in order to protect our journey, our spiritual choices that we have made to learn in this lifetime. And at some appointed time, there is a tipping point in the world's consciousness. And we're talking about group consciousness, collective consciousness. And it's happening on a larger scale. We're less individuals and more collectives. And Sleeping Beauty is all about that. So it's time to awaken and to also see our beauty. Often our life lessons have been bathed in a lot of shame, a lot of guilt for who we are. Some people have felt guilt for just being alive, for being born. The separation from the beauty of the source is enough to make us feel guilty, to make us carry a lot of shame. Why us? Why can't we be one with the oneness? Why do we have to be cast out and abandoned and forget who we really are? So I think, I feel that it's time to come home to the self, time to come home to the soul and the higher self, and the realization that how we see ourselves is a faint whisper of the true beauty that we all hold, and we all play such a beautiful part in the story of humanity and the story of the collective consciousness rising and purifying and becoming whole and enlightened. And if we could see the soul light that we carry and how beautiful it is, we wouldn't dim it, or we wouldn't make it less with our negative thoughts about ourselves and about others and judging ourselves so much. We would hold ourselves to be beautiful and treat ourselves that way, and then we wouldn't be asleep anymore, and we wouldn't have to suffer the unconscious energy anymore. The tarot card is the Hermit. It's an image of a wizened old man in a cape with a staff and a lantern, looking for knowledge in the dark. The Hermit is very much connected with seeking knowledge, searching for knowledge, looking for awareness, looking for enlightenment. And it's very symbolic of the journey that we all have to take, because we all are in the dark when we're born. We are unconscious, and children are very aware, and they also have a very strong connection to spirit up until they start to lose that connection and become aware of their current situation rather than where they've come from. So I think that the Hermit is all about seeking. There's a lot of people seeking the light, seeking knowledge within themselves and within their communities and within spirituality. I think that there's a time for this in your life, and there's also a time just to be in the now. Sometimes we try too hard to figure everything out mentally and to analyze everything and to understand everything. the key to spirituality is to actually feel, to be present, to feel and to acknowledge the wonder that you really are. Because sometimes we don't stop and we don't acknowledge ourselves. We're forever looking for the next hit, the next big thing that can answer all our problems, the next workshop, the next facilitator, the next therapist. Who can show us the magic pill that will solve all our issues and take away all our problems? Well, the thing is that you are the one that has the power to do that. And so the hermit also relates to periods of quiet time, time alone, contemplation, shutting yourself off from the world, hermiting yourself away, and that means not having very much contact with people, feeling like you just don't want to go out. You want to stay at home and you want to read, or you want to look at DVDs on the internet and really get the information. Like, there might be more people downloading information about 2012. There might be more people looking at movies and spiritual and political DVDs that relate to the Earth climate changes. So that's the hermit energy. It's all about taking your energy from the external world, bringing it back to yourself, and really pulling it in. So pulling your aura in and becoming quite small in a sense, because that aura can extend quite a large way. It means pulling it in and having a lot more internal time. It strengthens you in the long run. It's a technique that martial artists use. They pull their energy in order to become stronger. And that's what we need to do now. So there's a period for people out there where don't feel guilty or don't feel like you're not doing anything. You're actually doing powerful spiritual work by taking time out, saying no to your normal social external activities, like maybe you don't want to go to the mall or the shopping center. Maybe you want to stay at home and garden or paint and have some solitude and some quiet time. Maybe you're searching your soul for answers to your life's journey and the meaning to what is it all about. What have you been through, and what have you been unconscious to in your life? What do you need to wake up to in your life? So there's some things there for some people who will see this video that they've been numb to or ignoring or just not aware of, and your inner child is trying to wake you up to the fact that you have needed to shine a light into the dark areas of your life for a little while and get real. So basically, there's some hard truths coming out for people. It's time to wake up, and it's time to enjoy a little bit of solitude to bring some more light into your life and give you the answers that you've been seeking. And we're all on a journey, that's for sure, but some people will be have been on a journey for many years spiritually and just getting a sense